Hey guys, my name is Matimio, and today I wanted to do something a little different. I get a lot of message from you guys, my subscribers, asking what is the best bolt-action rifle, or why I should use one for certain situations, and there really is not a best bolt-action rifle. I mean, they're all very similar, so I wanted to make this video today to talk about why you would want to use one of them, the strengths of each, the weaknesses of them, and kind of go from there so you guys can pick the best one for your type of playstyle. And the first bolt-action rifle that we're going to be taking a look at is the SV98. When the game was first released, this was my favorite bolt-action rifle. I loved it. I got like 1,000 kills with it right off the bat, and it was just fantastic. But to be honest, it really doesn't excel in any category. I mean, it's very average. It has a standard RPM. You know, it has a decent bolt velocity. Its reload time is pretty fast, but not the fastest. And, you know, it's just a very standard bolt-action rifle. So if I was going to recommend this weapon to someone, I would say, well, if you're looking for a weapon that pretty much has it all, the SV98 would be a great choice. I mean, it doesn't do poorly compared to the other ones, and it doesn't also excel in certain situations. It really just is your average bolt-action rifle. The next one we're going to be taking a look at is the M40A5, and what sets this weapon apart is easily its high rounds per minute. It has the highest RPM out of all of the bolt-action rifles, sitting at 54.5, which doesn't sound like a lot, but that's because it isn't. But if you like to take a lot of shots in quick succession, you're playing up close and personal, where having a high RPM is essential for you getting those kills and not dying, then this might be the perfect bolt-action rifle for you. What I don't really like about it, though, is that if you want to use it for long-range combat and you use the 6 or 12 times scope, you'll notice that it takes up a lot of your screen. It's absolutely gigantic. So I wouldn't recommend it for long-range combat. It doesn't have the highest bullet velocity either, so it's not going to get to the target very quickly. So if I use this weapon, I'm going to slap on the ACOG scope, the red dot sight, the 3.5 scope. It just makes it a lot more efficient. You can see more in front of you, and since this is more of for a lot of people like to use this up close and personal because of its high RPM, I think that those scopes just suit it a lot better for for that kind of combat. The next one is the M98B, and you've probably gotten killed by this one on numerous occasions. It's a very popular weapon, and the reason why it is so popular is because it has the highest bullet velocity out of all the bolt-action rifles. And what this means for you is that you're going to have to compensate less for bullet drop. You're going to have to lead your target less compared to all the other rifles. And really, this is, in my opinion, a perfect weapon for someone who is new to sniping. Trying to figure out the bullet drop and leading your target can be difficult, and it can turn you away from the Recon class. And having a weapon like this is nice for those type of players who just want to get used to sniping. They don't want to deal with all the shenanigans that can occur with trying to figure out, if the target's moving perpendicular to me, they're heading in this direction, how should I shoot, and where should I aim, in front of them. It can be a little confusing and difficult, and this one kind of takes away the guesswork. If you aim for the head in most circumstances, you're probably going to get the kill. So I would recommend this one for anyone who is new to sniping, or if you haven't tried it out already, give it a shot, because it really is a fantastic rifle. The one downside of it, though, is that it has the smallest magazine size, so if you like to play aggressively, you can still do it, but just remember that you're going to have to reload a lot more often than if you were using something like the M4A5 or really any of the other bolt-action rifles. So if you do like to play aggressively, you can use this weapon. Just remember, you're going to have to reload more often, and it could get you killed. You could be left with your pants down, and it's happened numerous occasions with me. You're just going to have to keep that in consideration and play around it. The next one we're going to be taking a look at is the L96, and to be honest, I don't really have a whole lot to say about this rifle. It's pretty much identical to the SV98. It's your average weapon. I guess it has a slightly faster bullet velocity compared to the SV98 while having a slower RPM. So I guess if you're looking for an average weapon that is fast or has a faster bullet velocity than the SV98, then this is the weapon for you. I'm not trying to say that this is bad. Average is not bad. This is my highest I have the most kills with this weapon in Battlefield 3. I have like 3,000 kills with it. So don't think that by me saying it's average that it's bad, because it really is not. This is probably my favorite bolt-action rifle in the game. But I'm just letting you know, it's average and it's pretty much identical to the SV98. So if you like that weapon, you're probably going to like the L96. And finally, we have the JNG90, which was introduced in the Close Quarter DLC, and how it distinguishes itself from all the other bolt-action rifles is that it has the fastest bolt velocity compared to all the other rifles with 10 rounds in its magazine. So it's not the fastest, that goes to the M98B, but if you want to have a large magazine size and you also want to have the advantages of having a faster bolt velocity because you don't like to deal with bullet drop or leading your target, then the JNG90 might be the perfect rifle for you. The one thing I don't really like about this weapon though is that if you're using the 8 or 12 times scope, it's going to take up a lot of your screen, just like the M40A5. And those are the scopes I would recommend for the gun because it has a higher bolt velocity, so you're going to want to go for those long range targets because that's where it excels at. But, you know, it can be a little annoying to have this giant scope on your screen and not being able to see everything in front of you. So if you don't like that aspect of the weapon, I would stray away from it. But it is nice, and if you don't mind it, having a fast bullet velocity is fantastic, and having a lot of rounds to back that up is also great. But that's all of the pros and cons for each of the bolt-action rifles. I hope that this was a fun and informative video. If you guys enjoyed the video or you just want to support my channel, I always appreciate it when you give my videos a rating, and if you haven't already, subscribed for more. But before I go, I want to know what your favorite bolt-action rifle is. Let me know in the comments section below. But until next time, guys, have a good one and take it easy.